Hello eBay sellers. Disgruntled eBay sellers, probably. If you're looking at videos with keywords like eBay and union and eBay policy changes and stuff, chances are you're probably disgruntled. And if you're disgruntled, I want you to check out this series of videos I'm going to make. I'm going to say some things and put out some ideas. Some of them are going to sound conspiratory in thought process and theory, and it may take a while to soak in, but I ask you to consider what I'm about to tell you about eBay. We're all here basically because of eBay policy changes, constantly making it harder on eBay sellers, who is the bread and butter of eBay, to survive in the environment of eBay's new policy changes. It seems like every time we turn around, there are more and more eBay policy changes protecting the buyer and only taking away and or hurting the eBay seller. Why is this happening? Well, I guess first we probably need to start off with who is eBay. When eBay started some years back, they were a bunch of young fresh college kids with a not so outstanding idea. The idea had to come in the age of the internet. Hey, how can you buy and sell? How can people in their own homes, buy and sell without having to get a newspaper, taking out a newspaper listing or something like that of that type? And they got the idea of how to build it on a website, and they did. And lo and behold, eBay started soaring. It was like the last American entrepreneurial adventure we're probably going to have. And eBay was great. It was a hell of a lot of fun. Watching those bids go crazy, and we had a system in place that we could protect each other, which was feedbacks, and it was fair. The buyer could leave feedback and the seller could leave a feedback for the buyer. Then they took that away, and now we no longer can even do that. But anyway, we had a nice little playing field. We could all make a living. Hell, a lot of us were quitting our jobs and doing eBay for a living. It was doable back at that time. Everybody at a garage sale or a estate sale was not online trying to get prices on eBay for the stuff they were selling. So there was a heyday there, and it was working. So that's who eBay was. Then a funny thing happened. The banks catch notice of eBay. Why do the banks give a damn about eBay? Well, let's use as an example. I sold a milk tester one time, and I know about that, so I'm going to use that for an example. Before eBay, if you were a small dairy and you needed a milk tester, which is something that tells you the quality of milk, runs through computers and stuff. If you needed that device new, it would cost you around anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000, depending on which one you wanted to buy. Let's say you needed a used one, and back before eBay, your only option was to do pretty much local searches through newspapers and so forth, and you couldn't really find a whole lot of an uncommon thing like a milk tester. And maybe if you were lucky, you'd find a used one for 8 to 10 grand, and you would have to go to a bank just like you were going to buy a new one, and you were going to have to sign a loan, secure a loan of some kind, and you were going to have to mortgage your old farmhouse or something, put something up for collateral, and you were going to have to pay 10 grand for a used milk tester that was worth, I don't know, 20 to 100. That was the options people had back before eBay. When eBay comes along, we all learned just how unrare some things truly were. Some things were not that rare. We thought they were. Well, now eBay gives us the option to buy these, let's use the milk tester again, for $500 to $800. I sold one myself personally. That's why I chose this as an example, for $800. I didn't feel screwed at all because I got it at a state auction for $5. So I was happy with it. The guy who bought it was happy with it. Everybody was happy with it. eBay was happy with it. They were making a percentage. Everybody was happy with it, but who? The banks. Because the banks are out. You didn't have to go to the banks and sign away your car, or hand them over the title to your car, or your house deed or whatever, and get a mortgage so you could buy this piece of equipment that you had to have to run your business. Now that sounds silly, but the truth is there's tons of businesses, thousands of businesses, there's thousands of pieces of equipment that people now can get on eBay for fractions of what they costed new. And the banks don't like that. Now, when you can also equate that to automobiles, properties, it just goes on and on and on. Antiques, the gamut is very wide of all the things we can now get a lot cheaper because of eBay, because of the accessibility that eBay gives to us. So now we've got the bank's attention. The banks are saying, hell, our loans are down. It's like, you know, it shows after our study showing that farmers who used to have to order used equipment or new equipment, you know, they're not doing it as much. Do a study, find out why. Well, Mr. Bank Boss, there's this little thing called eBay where people are buying a lot of stuff from, and it's costing us loans. And what do we do about it from this point? Well, eBay goes in cahoots with the banks. After the banks contact eBay and say, hey, we got an idea about a payment system, or the payment system that eBay already had in place, the banks got in cahoots with, which is really Chase Manhattan is who they are. And this system starts getting bigger and bigger. I'm talking about PayPal. Now eBay and the banks are tied together, and eBay is still putting right along. We're all doing good, and next thing you know, PayPal, we find out, bought out eBay. Now the chairman is still there for face value, as most chairmans do who sell their conglomerates out for billions of dollars. He's still there, supposedly in charge, while they hire the lady who's, I can't think of her name, Billy something, who's in charge, actually the CEO, which is one of their people, by the way. I mean, she's there to conform eBay into this new bank plug-in, which is what eBay has become now. And we start making policy changes, and boy, do the policy changes come. And we're finding out stuff now, like now we're being told we no longer have the right to leave a buyer a negative feedback. We have the right to leave them a positive feedback, which is utterly damn ridiculous. Seems like if we have enough wherewithal to leave them a positive feedback, you would think we could also leave them a negative. If the guy was an a-hole or caused trouble or stole something from us. But eBay is saying that the buyer should be able to buy on eBay without worry about retribution of a negative feed mark. Well, we take it, and then there's more and more changes that come up, and lo and behold, now the banks are starting to charge more and more money. I can see this video is probably getting close to my time. I'm gonna wrap this one up so I can get on with the next one. But anyway, the banks are having more and more influence on eBay's policy changes. We are starting to suffer sales. I know one thing you've all noticed, that hell, we could do pretty well with 50 items, and now most of us have 200 or 300 items to make less than the money we were making with 50 items back in the old days. And you know, that's good for the banks because they're making more and more fees. eBay's making more and more fees, and we're selling less and less stuff. We're working more, and they're making more money. So here we all are, looking and waiting on the next policy change to come across our little emails, messages system in eBay. Find out what are they going to do next to us. Well, the last one is that I just saw on eBay. The message system they sent to me was that a buyer is now going to have the option that instead of returning an item to you for his refund, to keep the item and take the item to a qualified third party, whatever the hell that is. That can be Uncle Ned, as far as I know, to sign some documentation that's going to say Uncle Ned changed out a part on this device because it was broke when you shipped it to him, and Uncle Ned charged $1,000 to fix it, and they're going to be able to take $1,000 out of your account, and the dude's going to be allowed to keep your item. You don't even have the option of getting your item back and try to resell it to somebody who's not a damn thief. So right there, your hands are tied in yet another way. Why in the hell would they do that? It seems utterly ridiculous. that if you're going to have a return policy, the least what they would have to do is the guy would have to return your item to get his money back. But eBay seems to take it upon themselves to trust the buyer to say that the item was not only broken, but he's got a piece of paper that somebody written saying that it was repaired at such and such cost. Well, it's utterly damn ridiculous, and it opens the door to so many con men. It opens the door to so many ways that they can start screwing over the seller. Now you would think, well, that's ridiculous. Why would eBay want to hurt the sellers? There's a reason. You're going to have to watch, click on the next video to find out the reason. And it may be kind of surprising to you, but damn if it ain't so. Okay, click on over to the next video, and we're going to see you here in a bit. Hang in there, guys.